Ladies and gentlemen, this is Civic Nationalist 1776 coming to you live. We have breaking news coming to you today. A court in Pennsylvania has ruled on mail-in voting and ruled it unconstitutional today. As we can now see on the screen, court ruling puts mail-in voting on hold in Pennsylvania. Friday's Commonwealth Court opinion declares Act 77 of 2019 unconstitutional, though an appeal is expected by the Department of the State. Pennsylvania, USA. A statewide court says Pennsylvania's expansive 2-year-old mail-in voting law is unconstitutional, agreeing with challenges by Republicans who soured on mail-in voting after then-President Donald Trump began basically attacking it as rife with fraud in 2020's campaign. According to a Commonwealth Court filing released Friday, the court ruled that Act 77, allowing residents to vote by mail in Pennsylvania, violates Article 7, Section 1 of the Pennsylvania Constitution. Now, this is big, ladies and gentlemen. This means that mail-in voting is going to be put on hold for midterms, which means it'll be considered unconstitutional and will therefore not be able to be pushed through during the midterm elections. That being said, it will be appealed to in the court of Pennsylvania. Now then, what's going to cause this to happen, and what's going to happen in midterms according to this? Well, it depends. What could happen is that everything could go without a hitch, and they won't be able to appeal it in time before the midterms. That means that Pennsylvania may actually have a chance of switching to the Republican side. And even more so, it could actually land Pennsylvania into the Republicans' hands to make sure that this is upheld. On the other hand, if this gets successfully appealed, it could be in trouble for Republicans in the midterm elections. That being said, I don't expect it to actually happen, considering the fact that, well, it'll take time. The Commonwealth Court denied the PA Department of State Acting Secretary's application for summary relief. That means it wouldn't be immediately appealed. It couldn't be immediately appealed. In ruling, Commonwealth Court President Judge Mary Hannah Leavitt wrote, "It presented to the people a constitutional amendment to end Article 7, Section 1 requirement of in-person voting is likely to be adopted, but a constitutional amendment must be presented to the people and adopted into our fundamental law before legislation allowing no excuse mail-in voting can be placed upon our statute books." Friday's decision by a 5-judge Commonwealth Court panel could be put on hold immediately by an appeal from Governor Tom Wolf's administration to the state Supreme Court. The decision throws the state's voting laws into doubt in a big election year. Now, as we can see, the governor can actually appeal to the Supreme Court, making this decision be put on hold until it's settled by the Supreme Court. The 3 Republican judges agreed with Republican challengers. 2 Democrats on the panel dissented. Act 77, the Pennsylvania law which legalized no excuse mail-in voting in 2019, was originally born out of compromise between legislative Republicans and Democratic Governor Tom Wolf. That means this is not just the Democrats doing, it's Republicans as well. They're culpable in this. Now, I'm willing to bet it's neocons, not populists, that are culpable for this. So they need to be primaried out. Republicans wanted to eliminate straight-ticket voting, and to do so gave in mail-in voting to Democrats. Prior to this, only people who qualified for absentee voting were allowed to vote by mail. Republicans voted in near unanimity for Act 77, 27-0 in the Senate and 105-2 in the House. Democrats offered no support in the Senate and were split in the lower chamber, 59 against, 33-4. However, like many things, the COVID-19 pandemic changed everything. Mail-in ballots cast by people and wearied to visit crowded polling places during the height of the pandemic overwhelmed election offices during the June 2020 primary election. When November general election came up, more than 2.6 million votes cast for President Biden. more than a third of all votes were by mail. According to that number, 2 of every 3 million voters, more than 1 million total, were registered Democrats. Joe Biden won the election over Donald Trump by 80,000 votes. Following the election, some Republicans wrote legislation calling for a repeal of Act 77, claiming no excuse for mail-in vote violates the Constitution. Only voters who qualify for absentee voting were allowed to vote by mail, and many claimed changes to the election code must be done. They said, though a constitutional amendment where the proposal passes through the House and Senate on 2 consecutive sessions with the same language before it was approved by voters. The Department of State, which has not yet commented on the ruling, would be expected to appeal the decision to the state Supreme Court, which holds a 5-2 Democratic majority. You can read the full Commonwealth Court opinion below. Now, that means with the 5-2 Democratic majority, it will be on partisan lines. Most likely, if it gets appealed to the Supreme Court, which it most certainly will, it will actually be ruled in Democrats' favor. So this could be a moot point. That being said, for the time being, this means that mail-in voting is being put on hold until it is appealed. So what are your thoughts on this outcome? Do you think it's going to be good, bad, or just plain a nothing burger, concerning the fact that, well, the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania has a 5-2 majority of liberal-leaning justices on their Supreme Court? Leave your comments down below, and like and subscribe my channel. Seminole Nationalist, 1776, out.